If you're tired of being broke, you need to hear this. Now, it might sound crazy, but the reason that you're actually broke has got nothing to do with money. Being broke is actually a symptom, and the cause of the symptom is deep rooted inside your subconscious mind, which has been subconsciously running your finances your entire life without you even knowing. Most people try to fix this broke symptom by just making more money. But if the cause that created the broke is still there, the broke always comes creeping back. This video removes that cause permanently. I want to be honest with you about something. Now, I know what being broke actually feels like. Not theoretically, but personally. I wasn't just broke. I was in quite a lot of debt, over 65,000 worth of debt across multiple cards, just to be precise. I trusted the wrong mentor, invested money that I didn't have, and I ended up in a hole so deep that I couldn't see a way out. And the worst part wasn't the actual debt itself, it was what the debt was actually doing to me on the inside. So I had lots of shame, a lot of fear, and constant background noise of financial anxiety that followed me everywhere I went. Every single move I made, no matter what I tried on the outside, I literally tried everything. I kept working harder, longer hours, trying more things like new strategies, new approaches, new marketing, starting entirely new businesses, jumping from one industry to the other. But I kept on ending up in the same freaking place. Being broke kept on coming back. Now, this was because that cause that was creating the broke was still running subconsciously behind the scenes, still deciding what was possible for me without my permission. And here's what I know now that I didn't know then. The debt wasn't the problem. The broke wasn't the problem. They were just pure symptoms of the problem. The real problem was what I believed about money, what I believed that I deserved, what I believed that was possible for someone like me, what I absorbed about wealth and worth growing up without ever being given a chance to question it. The moment I stopped trying to fix the debt and start fixing what first created the debt in the first place, everything started to shift. I went from being in 65,000 worth of debt to my first 9K day, then my 26K month, then my 100K month, all the way up to 500K months. Now, I'm not telling you this to brag, like look at Mindy, he's cool, he's done 500K months. I'm telling you this because I turned it around from being in 65 grand worth of debt. Now, you can turn it around wherever you are right now, and I want you to let that sink in for a moment. Now, this video shows you exactly how to do that. I'm Mindy, founder and CEO of Mind, Money and Business, and that's my training company where I've helped business owners add an extra $100 million of revenue to their businesses across more than over 87 different industries globally. In this video, I want to give you the 5 steps to permanently remove the cause of broke. So no matter how much money comes in, it finally starts to build into something real. Now let's get into it. Step number 1, understanding where the broke mindset actually comes from in the first place. The broke mindset isn't a weakness, it isn't laziness, and it's not bad luck. It's not being in the right place at the right time either. It's about the program that was written inside your subconscious mind even before you're old enough to even recognize it. Now, the crazy part is people go on through their lives not knowing the real cause of their financial situation. I find people blame it on their circumstances. They blame the industry, the location, they blame it on luck, they blame it on the economy, but it's got nothing to do with that. How can you have 2 people in the same location running 2 separate businesses, same industry, same client base, one gets rich and the other one struggles? Now, you can't say it's down to location, you can't say it's down to industry, and you can't say it's down to luck. It's simply how that person's programmed. This is why you get some people that actually buy businesses that are failing. Now, why would someone want to buy a failing business, right? It makes no sense, because these people that buy these failing businesses have a different mindset, have different beliefs around money than the person who's actually failing the business. Now, it's not the business that fails, it's the person running the business that actually fails. They have the failure mechanism. And this is why you get somebody coming in, buys a business for next to nothing. In a couple of years, they turn the business around, make it highly profitable, and guess what? They cash out and sell it for a load more money. And this is a strategy. This is an actual business model that people do. They go out and find businesses where the owner has a broken mindset around money. They understand what to do, and they bring their beliefs into the same business, grow it, scale it, sell, flip. Simple. It's a strategy. And it's not the industry, not the location. Can you see where I'm coming from now? Now, what you absorbed about money growing up, I want you to go back to your early childhood, when you wanted that bike, when you wanted that doll's house. What were you told when it wasn't your birthday, it wasn't Christmas? I'm not made of money. The other day, my daughter asked me for something. She goes, Daddy, can I get some concert tickets to this concert? I said, you know what? I'm made of money. I smiled and I said, I'm made of money. And that's the total opposite of what people get taught. So I'm conditioning my kids differently about money. So I'm telling them that I'm made of money. Money grows on trees. I tell them the exact opposite of what I was taught. So I want you to go back and remember some of those early childhood phrases that you had growing up about money, when you wanted something, when you wanted to do something. Were they positive or were they negative? Now, most likely they were negative beliefs about money. They were installed in you for a long, long time. And those are probably negative ideas around money, negative concepts. And that was forming your program. Now, all of this goes back to your early childhood. But guess what? It was your parents too that will absorb the same kind of beliefs. And that's why these beliefs are passed down from generation to generation to generation. Now it's your turn to stop it right there if you don't want your next generation to have the same broke mindset around money and be poor. So let's go back a few years. Let's go back a decade or two. So go back and get a clean sheet of paper and write down some of the things that you remember hearing about the lack of money. When you wanted to do something, when you asked for something and you couldn't get it. You were told that money doesn't grow on trees. Write down a list of all the things that you were told. Now, you may say that I've got a good relationship to money right now, but if you look at your bank balance, it tells you an entire different story. Often I speak to people and I say, look, what's your relationship to money like? I believe money's good. I believe there's abundance everywhere. All right, how much money have you got in your bank? What's the most that you ever earned? I'm broke, I'm in debt. So you've just told me on one hand, you have a good relationship with money, finances, you believe money's good, but on the other hand, you're broke. So you can't be broke and have a good relationship to money. It just doesn't work out because your relationship to money is a subconscious condition, and that subconscious condition shows up in your finances, in your sales, inside your business, in fact, in all areas of your life. So think about it. Go make a list of what you were told about money and see how it's actually showing up in your life. And it's going to break something down for you that you have a poor relationship to money. Well, otherwise, you'd be wealthy. So this is why it's so important to actually find the origins of where these beliefs actually came from so you can actually challenge them, because these weren't your ideas, these were passed on to you. So we believe in things that we didn't choose to believe in. They were implanted into our subconscious mind. So once you understand, hey, listen, this was someone else's idea, when did I decide that I'm going to start to believe this is my story? But it's not. So go down and break those beliefs down and go look for evidence in them. Why do I choose to believe this? You probably find that you've got no grounds to actually believe these beliefs around money. And so that's when you start to break down those beliefs and form new ones. Step number 2, identifying your broke beliefs. So listen, those broke beliefs that you had from childhood, they're still showing up in your life today. So can you see where the lack is showing up inside your life today? Like when you go out to look for something, maybe you want that new car, maybe you want to go on holiday, you want to look at the home, you tell yourself, I can't afford that, that's too much money. When was the last time you actually went out shopping, you saw something that you liked, and you told yourself, that's way too expensive, that's way too much money, I can't afford that, I don't know how I'm going to do that. These hows, these too much, all these beliefs are actually showing up every time you go to spend some money. Every time you go to upgrade your life, those beliefs come to the surface and they tell you why you can't afford it. Now, every time I go to look at something, even right now, it might be outside of my budget. I don't tell myself I can't afford that, I can't afford the jet, I can't afford this, I can't afford that $50 million home. I don't tell myself I can't afford it. I don't even look at it. I said, do I want it? Yes or no? If I want it, I'll go figure out the way. So next time you want something, never ever tell yourself that I can't afford it. If you've got young children and they want something, can we have this? Can we have that? Never tell them that we can't afford it. Because guess what? That I can't afford it goes deep into their subconscious mind every time they hear it. They get emotionally involved, and guess what? You're forming new beliefs for them. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. And they'll go through life when they're 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way to retirement age, having that belief that I can't afford it. So always say, there's always a way, right? We've got so much abundance in our lives. So if you start to operate from abundance, you'll start to see that you'll start to attract abundant opportunities to you. You'll always find the money for what you want. There'll be no lack in your life anymore. It might sound simple, but that's the way it works. But you've got to be aware. You've got to start being aware of what your thoughts are. So go window shopping. I'd encourage you to go window shopping and start looking around things that may be outside your current budget right now, but how can you rephrase, I can't afford it, that's too much money? Go walk into that car showroom. Go look at that multi-million-dollar home. Go look at that jet set lifestyle, those holidays that you want, and say, oh, this is possible to me. Always say, this is possible. I can. Not I can't, I can. And that will start to transform your subconscious mind and start to override those powering, limiting beliefs around money. Try it. So how does this affect your business? Now, all those beliefs around money, there's not enough money to go around, I can't afford it. Guess what? Inside your business, you're always going to find a reason why you can't afford it, because you're not going to attract the clients that you want. Now, the moment you shift from I can't afford to I can afford, there's abundance, you'll find that you start to attract higher paying clients. They'll come to you. You'll have opportunities that open up. You'll find new ways to earn more money because you've broken down the beliefs about why you can't have it. Now, your subconscious mind's entire job is to keep you safe, is to prove you wrong every single time. If you believe like 10, 20,000 is a lot of money, you can't earn it, guess what? Your subconscious mind will say, I will prove to you that you're right. I will make sure that you never get to that 10, 20,000. It will throw all sorts of obstacles, roadblocks in your way so you can never get there. Once you remove that mindset around money about lack, you'll find your subconscious mind will start to prove to you why you can earn the 10, the 20, the 100K. Every time I work with a business owner, I never work on their strategy initially. It's always about the person themselves. Now, once we identify some of those roadblocks and limiting beliefs around money, the strategy starts to work. We give them a new model to work with, and that's when business growth really happens. Now, before we dive into step number 3, if this is already resonating with you, I put together a 5-day challenge. Now, there's a link in the description below where you can register for your seat right now. Now, over the course of the 5 days, I'll walk you through exactly how to implement everything that we're covering in today's video into your life, your business, so you can actually start to remove what's been creating that broke and start to attract the money, the clients that you're actually capable of having. So make sure you hit the link below and register for your seat for the 5-day challenge. It's going to be insane. So let's dive into step number 3. Make the decision that changes everything. Now, this is probably the most important step. Most people are only one decision away from completely transforming their financial reality. And guess what? They don't even know it. Now, why do we make decisions the way we do? Now, let's trace it back to your beliefs around money. Now, you always make your decisions based upon your concepts, your beliefs about money and yourself. If you don't believe that you can do something, guess what? You probably won't. I remember when I first had the opportunity to work with my mentor, Bob Proctor, there was a belief. It was telling me that, Mindy, you tried so many different things. You lost so much different money over the course of like the 10, 12 years. You're in so much debt. You've tried so many different things. Why would this be different? Now, every time I went to make a decision, I would always go back to my default setting from based upon my beliefs about myself, my money, what I could do. And so this one occasion, I decided that I want to give this one last shot. I believe that my mentor, Bob Proctor, at that time knew exactly what he was talking about. I was prepared to make an uncomfortable decision because I knew that if I kept on making decisions based upon my past, my future would be the exact same way. So I want you to think about how you've been making your financial decisions. Let's just talk about how you pitch your products. Let's talk about who you serve as your clients. If you're charging $500 for a service, for a certain service, you're very unlikely to go pitch that same service or product to someone for like 10,000. Why? Because you'll tell yourself that I only sell this for 500. Who's going to pay me like the 10,000? Guess what? Those beliefs control how you actually sell, how you position, who you approach. Now, once you start changing those beliefs about yourself and money, you'll start to value yourself more and your beliefs around money will start to elevate. And guess what? As that confidence grows, you'll start to see that money starts flowing in and you'll have more confidence of why someone would pay you. Now, right now, if you're earning $1,000 a month, you're only earning 1,000 because that's all you believe you're worth. Now, once you change those beliefs that are causing you to get to 1,000, everything starts to change. Now, that's exactly what happened to me when I hit my first 9K day. I didn't hit that by accident. I hit that because I removed the unconscious beliefs that are holding me back. Now, once I did that, I knew I could do it again. I had to break beliefs along the way. Most people never break any beliefs. That's why their income always stays. Your income is only in alignment with the beliefs that you have about yourself and money. So once you change your beliefs about yourself and money, you'll always find that you go to that next level of income. It's so easy. Step number 4, learn how to rewire the subconscious mind that's actually creating that broke mindset in the first place, the broke identity. Making the conscious decision isn't enough. You can't just tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to change my relationship to money. I believe money is good. Now that doesn't mean nothing. Until you change that subconscious program, that's been lying deep inside your subconscious, nothing changes because that program is going to be running everything that you attract into your life. Now you've got to get rid of the root cause of the problem, or otherwise the problem's always there. The daily practice that helps reprogram the subconscious beliefs is really being observant about your conscious beliefs. Like think about the conversation that you have with yourself time and time again. Catch yourself, that internal dialogue. I can't afford this. This person's not going to pay this much. I've got bills coming in. I don't know where the money's going to come from. The economy's really slow. My ads are not working. Oh, this is panic mode. Guess what? That feast and famine comes from your subconscious mind. So you've got to challenge every single thought that comes into your mind that's not serving you well. So think about your goal. Let's say you've got a goal of earning $20,000 a month. Now think about your daily thoughts that come in frequently throughout the day that are of lack, limitations, why you can't do something. Now those beliefs, those thoughts are only going to create more of the same reality. So at every part of your journey throughout the day, you're going to have to be consciously aware of what you're thinking. So when you're thinking a thought that I can't afford this person's not going to pay, business is slow, guess what you're manifesting? More of the same. And you're suppressing that into your subconscious mind. So your subconscious mind can only accept an idea. It can't reject. It does not know the difference between what's real and imagined. So whatever you're consciously thinking goes into your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind internalizes it, puts you into a certain frequency, and that's all you keep on manifesting. So the first thing you got to think about is the thought when it comes into your mind. You don't entertain a broke thought. So next time you have a broke thought about lack, limitation, can't have, can't afford, can't do this, won't work, you got to stop it right there and replace it with the opposite. Affirm the opposite. Now, we're not talking about affirmations. What we're doing is simply changing the course of your thoughts. Now, it's going to be hard. It's going to take practice. Like building muscle, you've got to go to the gym every single day. You've got to work the muscle. Your mind, your conscious mind is a mental muscle. And the more you use it the right way, the better your results will get. And the more you use it in the wrong way, the worse your results will get. So remember that. So I want you to start observing your thoughts. When you're driving, when you're walking around, when you're in the gym, just think about, what am I thinking about most of the time? Write it down, journal it, journal what you're thinking most of the time. Before you go to bed, think about the thoughts that you're having. The first thing you wake up in the morning and think about, write it down so you can actually go back and see, hey, listen, that's a wrong thought. That's how you can course correct. Consistency is non-negotiable. Now, you've been entertaining these beliefs consistently over a period of time. That's why your results are like this today. So now, if you want to change what you're doing today, your finances today, you've got to go back and start being consistent from this morning. Start being consistent about what you want, not what you don't want, and just entertain thoughts that serve you well. And that's when you're going to start to see good things start to happen, and you start to change your subconscious program. Not just once a day, not just twice a day, throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the year. So remember, consistency is the key to financial freedom. Step number 5, take action from this new identity, not the old broken one. Take action from a broke identity produces broke ass results. Taking action from someone who's wealthy creates wealthy results. So I want you to think about the actions that you're taking. Do they match this new version of yourself that you want to become? Or do you take your actions from doubt, fear, anxiety? Now, if you take your actions from doubt, guess what? The results will be doubtful too. Now, here's the thing. Fear can actually be good. So sometimes you have to take action out of fear. You're going to face the fear. You've got to go through the fear. And that's where all that good stuff is. A lot of people believe that fear is a negative emotion, but really fear is what successful people have to break through to get to that next level. One thing I want you to be okay with, fear is always going to be there. And it's not a bad sign. It's showing you that you're going in the right direction. So when you can build that courage, that confidence, that clarity and push through, that's where you're going to start to see a breakthrough in your results. Most people are actually controlled by fear. It controls their actions, their behaviors, how they move. So understand that fear is an emotion and it's causing you to act a certain way. You're either going to stay confined to fear or you're going to break through and get the things that you really want. So when I first started out in my coaching career, I had these thoughts like, who's going to listen to you? Why should people listen to you? But then I had the realization, well, listen, it's work for yourself. I got myself out of the shit, so why wouldn't someone else listen to me? So as I did that, I grew in confidence and I started to take action from this new person. So I'd actually have more confidence in speaking to people that were stuck like where I was, and I showed them how I can help them get out there. And so I started to take action from this new identity, and that's when things start to change. So you always got to take action from this new identity. So think about it. If you were already where you want to be, would you still be acting the same way? Probably not. So start acting like the person that you wish to become. I'm not talking about acting all brash, but taking action from that future version of yourself today. And that's where the confidence, clarity, and the breakthroughs come from, when you start acting like the future version of yourself today. Not waiting until the time is right. Just to bring this all together, being broke has never been about the money. It's never been about the economy, the timing, or your circumstances. It's a program that's been running the show subconsciously behind the scenes without you even knowing. The broke symptom isn't your fault, but it's your responsibility. And the 5 steps that we spoke about here are how you take responsibility and do something permanent with it. So just to recap, step number 1 is to actually understand where that broke mindset actually came from, because you can't remove something that you haven't found. And step number 2, identify your exact broke beliefs, because not all broke beliefs look the same. Yours are unique to your story. Step number 3, make the decision that changes everything, because most people are only just one decision away from a completely different financial reality and they don't even know it. And step number 4, rewire the subconscious program that's been creating the broke symptom, because a conscious decision without the subconscious reprogramming will always drift back to the default setting. And step number 5, taking action. Take action from this new identity, not the old broken one, because action taken from a broke identity produces broke ass results. And that only changes the moment the identity changes. I turned it around from being in over $65,000 worth of debt. Now you can turn it around from wherever you are right now. The cause is fixable. The program can be changed. And once it changes, the broke never comes back. If this video really struck home with you, you're going to need to watch this one on the screen right here. In this video, I'll show you exactly what 10 years being around broke people taught me about why they stay broke and what actually separates broke people from wealthy people. Click the video right here and I'll see you on the other side.